Alien warrior carried his dying mate to a human mechanic, and humanity turned despair into survival. HFY. The Vyrrh warriors dismissed humans as fragile scavengers on forgotten outposts, unfit for the galaxy's harsh symphonies, until one broken mechanic heard the discordant hum of an ancient artifact and orchestrated harmony where their mightiest guardians failed. Jax limped through the dim confines of Rainhouse, his prosthetic left leg grinding against the grated floor. At 35, he was a wiry figure, scarred skin pale under layers of grease-stained overalls, his dark hair cropped short against the perpetual ozone stink. The workshop sprawled 200 square meters, a jury-rigged haven of rusted tools and flickering holograms, its tin roof pocked with acid rain holes that let in the distant rumble of storms. GrayBayOutpost clung to the edge of Epsilon Sector, a 500 square kilometer speck battered by electromagnetic tempests peaking at 1,000,000 Tesla. Communications dropped 70% of the time, isolating the 1,200 souls, humans, aliens, and hybrids who scraped by on mining ops. Jax preferred it that way. He woke at Uros 600 local, the shield generator humming at 5 megawatts to deflect plasma arcs snaking 50 meters long outside. Today, like most, started with diagnostics. Jax powered up his 3 self-built assistant bots, each a meter tall, their chassis welded from scrap ZX-47 mining rigs. "Run self-check," he muttered, voice gravelly from disuse. The bots whirred to life, extending manipulator arms to sort parts. He ignored the community chatter on the 1420 MHz radio band, focusing instead on the busted drill head before him. 5 years back, a cave-in had crushed his leg and fried 40% of his neural pathways. Medics called it a miracle he survived. Jax called it a glitch. Now he heard energy fluctuations as melodies, frequencies from 20 Hz to 20 kHz weaving into internal symphonies. A faulty engine wasn't just sparking, it wailed off-key, begging for retuning. He picked up the plasma welder, its tip glowing blue. The drill's vibration hit him like a sour note at 440 Hz. "Systems out of sync," Jax said to no one, or perhaps to the bots. He adjusted the core oscillator down to 432 Hz. Efficiency spiked 25%. Simple debug. Everything was a broken system to him. Mine bots, outposts, even people. Fix the code, patch the leak, move on. Rainhouse reeked of oil and ionized air, the storm's residue clinging to every surface. Jax avoided the outpost's social hubs, the dome cantinas where multi-species crews bartered stories and ore. He communicated via terse radio bursts, rig fixed, payment in creds. Isolation suited him. No questions about the accident, no pity for the limp. But today an anomaly hummed in the corner. A Vyrrh armor suit, 2.5 meters tall, salvaged from a trade gone south. Its scales mimicked the species' own, thick refractive plates designed for vacuum skirmishes. Jax had taken it as partial payment, curious about the alien tech. He probed its power core with a scanner. The energy signature sang low, a baseline hinting at past battles across sectors. "Exotic," Jax grunted, tracing a crack in the plating. Vyrrh contacts were rare here, towering reptilians from core worlds, their society rigid with councils and guardians. This suit suggested prior encounters, perhaps skirmishes over mining rights. He tuned the scanner, listening to the core's rhythm. It pulsed steadily, but with an undertone of discord, like a symphony missing a section. Outside, the storm cycle dragged on for 12 hours, winds howling at the shields. Jax set the welder aside, wiping sweat from his brow. The bots chirped alerts, routine maintenance complete on 15 mining units. He logged it mentally. 85% success rate on debugs today. Solid. As evening crept in, the radio crackled. Static mostly, but a faint signal pierced through. Jax ignored it, focusing on the Vyrrh armor. He inserted a probe, feeling the energy flow as a rising crescendo. "What secrets are you hiding?" he whispered. The suit's systems lit up, interfaces glowing in alien script. He didn't read Vyrrh, but the melody told him enough. Stable, but primed for something more. Little did he know, the storm outside masked an approach. Footsteps thundered, heavy and desperate, vibrating through the floor like a bass drum. Jax paused, his enhanced senses picking up the anomaly first. A chaotic harmony, life and crystal clashing in dissonance. The door buckled under a massive blow. Rex burst in, a 3-meter Vyrrh colossus, gray scales 5 centimeters thick, armor cracked 20% from the trek. In his arms, Ceres, silver-scaled female, body convulsing as crystalline growths spread at 1 centimeter per hour, already claiming 30% of her form. "Human," Rex growled, voice like grinding stone. "Save her, or we both perish in this forsaken hole." Jax stood, welder in hand, the storm's fury mirroring the sudden chaos. His world of quiet fixes was shattered. He scanned Ceres instinctively. Not illness, code conflict, organic versus crystal matrix, frequencies off by 15% from Vyrrh norms. "Why me?" Jax asked, calm as ever. Rex laid Ceres on the workbench, her breath ragged. "Vyrrh healers failed. 5 methods. Genes, blockers, 10% survival odds. You humans, tinker with the impossible." Jax heard it then. The ArchiveSeed within her, a cacophony of 7 discordant parts. A galactic relic, Architect's legacy. He nodded. "Not disease, bad sync. I can debug." But he needed help. Anya saw from belt stations. He keyed the encrypted channel, delayed at 5 minutes due to interference. "Anya, emergency, VR case. Data incoming, 2 gigabytes scan." The workshop trembled under 300-kilometer-per-hour gusts, plasma lamps flickering. Tension built, no time for doubt. Jax prepped his tools, the symphony of crisis unfolding. Ceres stirred briefly, whispering of Architect's heritage, her voice a mournful tune. Jax listened deeper, mapping the chaos. Cooperation began here, in the fringe's roar. Rainhouse shuddered as the storm battered its shields, winds screaming at 300 kilometers per hour. Jax stood over Ceres, her silver scales dull under the workshop's flickering plasma lamps. The Vyrrh female's body twitched, crystalline growths creeping across her chest, advancing 1 centimeter per hour. 30% of her form already gleamed unnaturally, a lattice of alien tech overriding flesh. Jax's scanner hummed, its readings painting a grim picture. ArchiveSeed, an ancient architect's relic, clashed with her biology, frequencies misaligned by 15%. He saw it not as a disease, but as a system screaming for a debug. Rex loomed beside the workbench, his 3-meter frame casting a shadow over the cluttered tools. His gray scales, 5 centimeters thick, bore cracks from a 500-kilometer trek through the tempest, jetpack scorched from pushing 10 kilonewtons. "Fix her," he rumbled, voice cold as asteroid ice. "Vyrrh healers failed. Gene therapy, neural blockers. 5 methods, all useless. 10% survival chance. You're her last shot, human." Jax didn't flinch. He adjusted the scanner, its hum blending with the storm's roar. "Not a healer, a mechanic. But I hear the problem." The seed's energy pulsed in his mind, a chaotic symphony of 7 clashing chords. He turned to Rex. "Why drag her to this hole? Why me?" Rex's eyes narrowed, slits glowing faintly. "Outpost rumors. You fix what breaks, even what shouldn't." His cracked armor creaked as he shifted, one hand near a plasma rifle slung across his back. Tension hung thick, the air heavy with ozone and distrust. Ceres stirred, her voice a faint melody at 200 hertz, barely cutting through the workshop's 80-decibel hum. "Save the seed. Architect's legacy." Her words trailed into a gasp, pain etching her angular face. Jax's neural quirk caught the tone, a dirge, mournful yet resolute. This wasn't just survival, it was a sacrifice. He stepped back, mind racing. The seed wasn't killing her outright. It was rewriting her, a program fighting its host. He needed expertise beyond his tools. Anya Saul, a belt stations engineer, was his only shot. He patched into the encrypted channel, storm interference causing a 5-minute delay. "Anya, emergency. Vyrrh female, critical. ArchiveSeed infection. Sending 2 gigabytes of scan data." Get here. The workshop rattled, a plasma arc snapping outside. Jax knelt beside Saris, adjusting the scanner to map the seed's energy signature. It screamed in his head, 7 discordant frequencies, like an orchestra mid-collapse. He could stabilize it, maybe, but not alone. Hold on, he muttered, more to himself than her. We'll sync you up. Rex paced, his boots denting the metal floor. You waste time, human. She fades. His tone carried threat, but Jax ignored it, focusing on the scanner's readouts. The Vyrrh warrior's desperation was clear. 500 kilometers through a grade 7 storm wasn't casual. Something bigger drove him. Jax grabbed a neural probe, its tip glowing faint blue. He patched it into Saris's arm, bypassing crystal patches. Data streamed. Her vitals were tanking, heart rate down 20%, oxygen saturation critical. Not dying yet, Jax said, voice flat. Systems fighting. I can work with that. The radio crackled, Anya's voice cutting through static. Jax, got your data. Insane. I'm 12 hours out, shuttle at max. This seed's a relic, architect's tech, millennia old. Don't do anything stupid till I'm there. Her tone was sharp, laced with her usual bravado. Stupid's my specialty, Jax replied, half smirking. He turned to Rex. Your friend's not sick. She's running bad code. I can debug, but we need time and tech. Rex's scales vibrated slightly, a low 50 hertz rumble of agitation. Time we don't have. The seed consumes her. If you fail, I end this. His hand brushed the rifle, a subtle warning. Jax met his gaze unfazed. Threaten me later. Help me move her. They lifted Saris onto a reinforced slab, her 150-kilogram frame heavy even for Rex. The workshop's bots whirred, fetching cables and power cells. Jax wired a temporary stabilizer to Saris, boosting her vitals 10%. It bought hours, not days. He stepped back, wiping grease on his overalls. The storm's chaos outside mirrored the one within. Rainhouse's walls groaned, lamps flickering at 60 hertz. Jax's mind hummed with the seed signal, its discord gnawing at him. He saw patterns, energy spikes, feedback loops, fixable if he could align the frequencies. Tell me about the seed, Jax said to Rex, plugging a diagnostic rig into the slab. What's it worth to you? Rex hesitated, then spoke. Architect's knowledge. Blueprints of stars, machines, worlds. Saris carries it. If she dies, it's lost. His voice softened, a crack in his stoic shell. Jax caught it, a flicker of loyalty, not just duty. Knowledge worth dying for, Jax said, nodding. He'd heard of the architects, a vanished race whose tech reshaped galaxies. If Saris was a carrier, this was no accident. The seed chose her, or she chose it. The scanner beeped, showing crystal growth at 35%. Jax cursed under his breath. Need to slow it. Anya's our shot. He patched more data to the channel, compressing it to beat the storm's interference. The bots hauled a backup generator, boosting Rainhouse's power to 6 megawatts. Saris groaned, her scales glinting under the light. Don't! Let it fade, she whispered, voice a faint melody. Jax leaned in, catching the frequency. 200 hertz, steady but weak. He adjusted the stabilizer, syncing it to her rhythm. It held, barely. Rex stood guard, rifle now in hand. If you fail, human, I'll burn this place. His threat was calm, matter of fact, like stating gravity's pull. Jax shrugged, limping to a console. Burn it after I'm done. He typed commands, prepping for Anya's arrival. The seed's song grew louder in his head, a challenge no machine had thrown at him before. He debugged rigs, patched bots, and rewired outposts. This was bigger, a life, a legacy, a system screaming for harmony. Outside, the storm raged, plasma arcs dancing. Inside, Jax worked, tools in hand, mind tuned to the seed's chaotic hymn. Rex watched, Saris faded, and Anya's shuttle burned through the void. The galaxy held its breath, waiting for a human to rewrite its tune. The shuttle's engines cut through the fading storm, landing with a thud outside Rainhouse. Anya Saul stepped out, 27 and compact at 1.6 meters, her half-shaved head glinting under the outpost's hazy lights. She hauled a 50-kilogram toolkit case, her energy ink-stained jumpsuit marking her as Belt Station's acoustic whiz. 12 hours from launch, she'd pushed the craft to zero point 0.1 C, dodging electromagnetic remnants. Jax met her at the door, his limp pronounced in the post-storm mud. "You're late," he said, voice steady. "Storm's fault, not mine," Anya shot back, quick and grinning. She breezed past him, eyes on Saris. "Vyrrh case, huh? Let's see this mess." She unpacked an acoustic scanner, its probes extending like spider legs. Plugging it in, she swept over the crystalline patches, measuring energy spectra from 10 Hz to 10 kHz. Rex tensed, his plasma rifle gripped tight. "Another human. Will she help or hinder?" Anya ignored him, data streaming on her holoscreen. Crystal growth at 45% overwrite. Seed's code is clashing with her biorhythms. "Not a virus, more like an incompatible OS." She turned to Jax. "Your scans were spot on. Organic systems fighting the Matrix." Jax nodded, crossing to the console. "Heard it as Discord. 7 chords out of sync." He pulled up his neural maps, sharing the frequency data. Anya's eyes lit up, her creative spark igniting. "Exactly. Vyrrh docs throw meds at it. I say we compose." She sketched on a digital pad, lines forming a neural interface blueprint. Protocol chorus, God mode mixer for her nerves. Treat the body like an instrument. 5 modules, input, harmonizer, output, feedback loop, stabilizer. Sync to 99% match. Jax absorbed it, mind-clicking. "Smart. Use my quirk for tuning." Anya unpacked nanofab units, assembling chord bots on the fly. Each 10 nanometers small, billions in a vial designed to hear energy spectra and migrate via melodic cues, not biosignals. These bots dance to the beat. Inject them, play the tune, they align the clash. From belt stations and orbital hub orbiting Epsilon Prime with 5,000 residents, Anya had honed her edge. Specialized in acoustic energy systems, she'd patched 200 cosmic arrays, fixing comms arrays, sonic shields, even vibe dampeners for zero-G labs. Scrap became symphonies in her hands. "Belt stations taught me. Everything vibrates," she said, calibrating the bots. "Vyrrh seek cures. I write scores. 4 octaves deep, bots jump at 120 beats per minute." Her voice carried that rapid-fire flair, tools flying between fingers. Jax linked Rainhouse's grid to her gear, cranking power from 5 megawatts to 8. Cables snaked across the floor, bots assisting with welds. "Systems stable. We got 6 hours to build." Saris lay weaker, her blood pressure down 30%, her breath shallow. Crystal veins pulsed faintly, the seed's hum growing erratic in Jax's mind. Rex stood sentinel, rifle ready, scanning the door for threats. "Bound cleared, but enemies may follow." His gray scales shifted, alert for Vyrrh trackers or outpost scavengers. Anya worked fast, integrating modules into a central hub. Module 1 captures her biofrex. 2 analyzes Seed's code. 3 blends them. 4 loop corrections. 5 locks the sync. She programmed the interface, holographic keys dancing under her touch. Jax contributed, his welder sealing connections. "Add my neural feed. I hear the offsets run in real time." He patched a link cable to his temple port, the accident's legacy now an asset. "Risky," Anya said, but didn't stop him. "Your glitch might save her." They tested subroutines, simulations running clean at 95% efficiency. Rex watched, skepticism cracking. "Human tricks. Will it hold?" "Better than your blades," Anya quipped, injecting a test batch of chord bots into a sim gel. They swarmed, aligning to a sample tune. 120 BPM, 4 octaves weaving harmony. Saris stirred, pain etching her features. "Hurry! The knowledge fades." Her voice hit 200 hertz, a plea Jax tuned into the system. "Almost there," Jax said, debugging a glitch in the harmonizer. Power surged, light steady at 8 megawatts. The workshop hummed with activity, bots ferrying parts, Anya composing the trial score on her pad. 6 hours blurred by. Protocol chorus took shape, a sleek console with neural ports, bot injectors, and speaker arrays. The test composition clocked 10 minutes. a building crescendo from discord to unity. Ready for trial, Anya announced, wiping sweat. Inject bots, play the track, sync her up. Jax checked Ceres's vitals. Stable, but critical. One shot, make it count. Rex nodded, rifle lowered slightly. If this works, humans earn respect. The group huddled, tension thick. Outside, GrayBayOutpost settled post-storm, but inside, innovation brewed. Jax felt the seed's chaos easing in simulation. 99% sync projected. Human ingenuity against a galactic relic. They prepped the slab, bots priming injectors. Anya hit play on a sample loop, the workshop filling with ethereal tones. Chord bots in the gel danced, aligning patterns. See? Music fixes what force can't. Jack smiled faintly. Let's wake her symphony. The clock hit 2200 hours sharp. Ceres lay strapped to the improvised surgical slab, her silver scales mottled with crystal veins. Anya primed the injector, loading 500 million chord bots per kilogram into the vial. Initiating, she said, voice clipped. The needle pierced Ceres's arm, bots flooding her bloodstream like a silent swarm. Jax monitored from the console, neural link humming at his temple. Play the score. Anya hit execute. The workshop was filled with a 10-minute composition, 4 octaves rising, 120 beats per minute. Chord bots are activated, migrating toward dissonant zones, guided by acoustic cues. At first, stability held. Ceres's vitals leveled, crystal growth pausing at 45%. Rex stood rigid, rifle slung, but fingers twitching. It's working, he muttered, scales still. Then chaos erupted. Ceres's body arched, convulsing with 20-centimeter spasms. The seed retaliated, emitting 100-volt electromagnetic pulses. 60% of the chord bots fried instantly, their nanocircuits overloading. Alarms blared, console screens flashing red. Feedback loop, Anya shouted, fingers flying over keys. Seeds fighting the sync. Jax felt it in his head, the symphony shattering into cacophony. 7 chords warped, frequencies spiking. Not yet. He deepened the neural link, patching his senses directly into the system. Energy surged through him, his quirk amplifying the signals. He heard the bots pass, rerouting survivors. Shift to 528 Hz now. Anya adjusted on the fly, tempo holding at 120 BPM. Jax guided the remnants, his mind a conductor in the storm. The seed pushed back, tendrils of code probing his neural pathways. Control slipped, 25% of his brain functions hijacked, visions of crystalline overwrite flashing. Ceres screamed, pain hitting 9 out of 10. Her eyes snapped open, glowing faintly. Stop! I chose this! The group froze. Jax pulled back slightly, link straining. What? Ceres gasped, body still twitching. ArchiveSeed, not accident, ritual. I volunteered. Transmit architect's knowledge. If it fails, I die. Preserve the legacy. Twist hit like a plasma arc. Rex's gray scales vibrated at 50 Hz, a low rumble of fury. You lied? To us all? He stepped forward but held, not disrupting the failing rig. Anya killed the audio feed, bots halting. She's a carrier by choice. Changes everything. She scanned the data. Phase drift at 12 degrees. Seed's adaptive. We need shields on the bots up to 200 volts. Jax disconnected, head pounding, heart rate spiking to 150 beats per minute. Sweat soaked his overalls, prosthetic leg buckling slightly. Systems hosed. Debug time. He analyzed logs, tracing errors like faulty wiring. Reduced faults to 40% in minutes, his mechanics grit shining. Rainhouse drowned in 80 decibel electromagnetic noise. Error lights pulsing 10 times per second. The slab smoked faintly, Ceres collapsing back, exhausted but defiant. Architect's data, 1012 bytes, 5 millennia of crystal tech. Worlds built, stars mapped. Don't save me, save it. Jax rubbed his temple, the seed's echo lingering. We save both, or neither. His voice carried that human resolve, turning relics into tools, crises into fixes. Rex paced, rifle gripped. Council sent her for this? Madness. His anger simmered, but he didn't lash out. The revelation shifted gears. From rescue to preservation, human tech against ancient code, with a Vyrrh's secret at the core. Anya reworked design, sketching bot upgrades. Phase shields, double the layers, 4 hours to fab. She grabbed scrap from the bots, welding fresh chassis. Jax nodded, kitting up stabilizers. Rest, then retry. Seed's smart, but we're adaptive. He felt the fatigue, neural strain building, but pushed on. No breaks in the fringe, fix or fail. Saris watched, pain etched, but eyes steady. Humans, you harmonize chaos. Her words hung, a nod to their edge. The group scattered to tasks, Anya fabricating, Rex securing the perimeter, Jax debugging code. 4 hours ticked down, tension coiling. The first trial bombed, but data poured in, offsets, pulses, resistances. Jax tuned his link finer, prepping for round 2. Outside, outpost lights flickered in the calm. Inside, innovation burned. The twist reframed the fight, not curing a victim, but aiding a martyr. Human ingenuity flexed, turning Vyrrh ritual into collaborative code. 4 hours blurred in frantic rebuilds. Anya sealed the upgraded cord bots. Their shields were rated for 200 volts. Jax recalibrated the console, his neural link patched with fresh buffers. Saris lay stabilized, crystal spread halted at 50%. Rex secured the perimeter, rifle scanning for shadows in the post-storm dusk. Retry in 5, Jax said, voice steady despite the ache in his skull. He felt the seed's echo, a persistent hum probing his thoughts. Anya nodded, loading the injector. Bots reinforced, score tweaked, phase correction embedded. She hit prep, the system humming to life. Rex stepped closer, his 3-meter bulk casting a long shadow. Before you proceed, truth. His scales shifted, a subtle 50 hertz vibration betraying tension. I'm no mate to Saris, guardian, council assassin, sent to destroy the seed if the ritual fails. Entropy bomb in my pack, wipe it clean. The workshop fell silent, tools pausing mid-air in the bot's grips. Jax turned slowly, welder in hand. You lied. Dragged her here to kill her? Rex's eyes narrowed. Deception bought time. Council fears the seed, uncontrolled, it could rewrite worlds. If she fails as a carrier, I end it. 15% survival if I trigger now. He unslung the bomb, a compact sphere humming faintly, its yield enough to vaporize Rainhouse. Anya froze at her console. You're the failsafe? We fix her, or you nuke us? Saris stirred weakly, her voice at 300 hertz, a melodic plea. Save the seed, not me. In Jax's mind, it resonated like a prayer, frequencies weaving urgency. Jax set the welder down, mind racing. Changes the plan. You're an asset or threat. He scanned the bomb with his handheld, detecting its entropy field, disruptive waves at 10 more 4 Tesla residual from the storm outside, now calm but leaving interference. Rex gripped the device, knuckles whitening under scales. 20 missions as Guardian, 50 targets erased, clean ops, no traces. But Saris, bonds formed. His voice cracked faintly, a rare Vyrrh slip. Duty warred with loyalty, his rifle slung loose. The bone's aftermath lingered, electromagnetic echoes at 10 more 4 Tesla, jamming Jax's neural link by 20%. He felt the seed's tendril stronger now, 35% control in his brain, hallucinations flickering, old mind collapse. Plasma arcs 100 meters long engulfing him. Decide, Jax said, limping forward. Help or hinder. He prepped the console regardless, fingers dancing over keys. Anya broke the standoff. New angle. Split the score. 2 parts, 1 stays in series, 1 shifts to a frame. Crystal frame from mine cores, 9 Mohs hardness, holds the load. She sketched rapidly, using energy ink on scrap metal. Offloads the clash, but needs Vyrrh biodata for sync. Rex hesitated, bomb in hand. 5 minutes ticked by, his scales rumbling. Council commands death, but potential here. He lowered the device, crushing its trigger mechanism in one fist. Sparks flew, entropy field collapsing harmlessly. Data's yours, he growled, slicing a scale sample with his claw. Integrated. From assassin to ally, the shift was tactical, Vyrrh pragmatism yielding to human innovation. Jax took the sample, feeding it into the fab unit. Good call. Upgrading protocol chorus, add split module. He wired the new subroutine, his brain fighting the seed's encroachment. Speed at 5% per minute overwrite, pressure building. Anya fabricated the crystal frame prototype, alloy cone alloy shaping under plasma cutters. Frame holds half the code, reduces Ceres's load to manageable. She synced it to the console, power draw spiking. Ceres watched, pain steady. Guardian, you betray for this. Rex knelt beside her. For legacy, not destruction. His past missions flashed in his mind, erased threats, preserved order. This defied it all. The group converged, bots assisting with connections. Jax deepened his link, guiding the split logic. Test sim first. Hollow runs showed 90% success, phase drift minimal. Tension coiled as they prepped Ceres. Rex provided Vyrrh vitals, heart rhythms, and neural maps for the sync. If this fails, Council hunts me. Won't fail, Jax said, debugging a final glitch. His visions intensified, mind debris mixing with crystal visions. He shook it off, focus laser sharp. Anya cued the revised score. 2-part harmony, initiate on mark. The seed accelerated, Jax's control slipping to 40%. Action demanded speed, no room for doubt. Rex stood ready, sample integrated, bomb discarded. The twist reframed him, from executioner to enabler. They triggered the module, and cord bots prepped for dual paths. Jax felt the escalation, Seed's code racing at 5% per minute. Now or never. Rainhouse hummed with energy, the frame glowing. Human tech bent ancient relic. Vyrrh duty bent to collaboration. The fight intensified, no retreats. The crystal frame gleamed, its 1 cubic meter alloy forged from mine cores. Hardened to 9 mohs. Anya slammed the final welds shut, energy ink streaking her hands as she sketched control schematics in 30 frantic minutes. Frames locked, ready for half the seed. Sweat dripped from her brow, her half-shaved scalp catching the workshop's flickering light. Ceres writhed on the slab, crystal matrix claiming 70% of her silver-scaled body. Fractures spread like spiderwebs, pain etching her angular face. Finish it! Legacy endures, she gasped, voice a strained 300 hertz plea. Jax's mind screamed with the seed's chaos, now gripping 50% of his neural pathways. His heart pounded at 180 beats per minute, prosthetic leg trembling as he gripped the console. Initiate split, Jax ordered, voice cutting through Rainhouse's hum. He activated Echo Cord, a jury-rigged neural bridge of scrap wiring and his own implant. It linked him deeper, guiding 400 million cord bots through Ceres's system. His quirk turned their path into a 6-octave melody, discordant but bending to his will. Rex tossed another scale sample into the fab unit, gray plates glinting. Integrate. Boosts frame durability 150%. From assassin to protector, he pivoted fully, slinging his plasma rifle aside for a wrench. Council's blind. This path preserves. His scales steadied, resolve replacing doubt. Anya composed a 15-minute score on her pad, tempo at 140 beats per minute, 6 octaves layered in, splitting the seed signal into dual streams, one for Ceres, one for the frame. Bots follow the beat, half stay, half migrate. Her diagrams glowed blue, energy ink mapping bot trajectories on the workbench. Rainhouse shook with aftershocks, winds rattling the 5-megawatt shields. Temperature spiked 40 degrees Celsius from the seed's energy bleed, air shimmering with ozone and heat. Jax's vision blurred, hallucinations of collapse mixing with crystalline tendrils. Feel the surge, bots deploying. Ceres arched, a guttural cry escaping. Take this! Through the link, she pushed 10% of the architect's data, quantum energy formulas, and star-forging blueprints. It flooded Jax's mind, visions of galaxies spun from the void. He staggered, his quirk translating code into a soaring melody, amplifying the stakes. Rex seized the discarded entropy bomb, its core pulsing faintly. No more! He crushed it, circuits sparking harmlessly in his fist. Treason sealed. Hunt begins. Defiance hardened his stance. Vyrrh duty bowing to human ingenuity. He braced the frame, muscles straining against its 200-kilogram mass. Jax pushed through, echo cord amplifying his senses. Sync at 99.5%. His blood pressure crashed 50 millimeters of mercury, blackness creeping in. He heard the harmony lock, bots splitting paths. It's holding. Sweat soaked his overalls, prosthetic grinding as he leaned forward. They triggered the split module. Cord bots swarmed, half anchoring in Cirrus's core, half weaving into the frame's lattice. 50% of the seed transferred, crystalline structures forming in the alloy. Cirrus's load dropped to 20%, her convulsions easing to shallow tremors. A final surge hit, the seed's desperate counterattack. An electromagnetic spike shredded 10% of the equipment, consoles sparking, alarms screaming at 90 decibels. "Breach!" Anya yelled, diving to reroute power manually, fingers dodging live wires. Jax plunged deeper, linking his brain directly via echo cord. No buffers, raw interface. Pain seared, seed's code clawing for dominance. Guide them! He tuned frequencies, 6 octaves bending under his focus. Bots responded, sealing the transfer despite the chaos. Rex braced the frame, his 3-meter frame unyielding against energy backlash. "Hold the line, human." Respect laced his growl, Vyrrh's strength merging with earthborn grit. Anya stabilized the score, tempo steady at 140. Transfer complete, frames containing. She patched a failing relay, sparks singeing her sleeve. Jax collapsed against the console, link snapping free. Heart rate steadied, vision clearing. Done. Sync locked. The workshop cooled, aftershocks fading to a low hum. Cirrus breathed easier, half crystal form stabilizing. "You bridged it," she whispered, eyes meeting Jax's with gratitude in their melody. The air crackled with residual energy, equipment smoldering but functional. Anya checked readouts, confirming the split. Frame held 50%, Cirrus stabilized at 20. Rex stood guard, scales reflecting the console's glow, his shift from killer to ally complete. Jax rubbed his temple, seed's echo fading but leaving scars. "We're not done. Upgrade next." His voice held no triumph, only focus, human tenacity outpacing galactic odds. The group stood amid wreckage, victory carved from crisis. Cordbots hummed, frame pulsed, and Cirrus clung to life. Human tactics turned to ancient code. Vyrrh loyalty sealed the pact. No rest, only the next fight, harmony forged in the fire of defiance. Jax slumped against the console, neural links severed but echoes of the seed lingering like a faint hum. His heart rate steadied at 120 beats per minute, prosthetic leg grinding as he shifted weight. Cirrus lay stable, her crystalline spread halted at 20%, silver scales glinting faintly under Rainhouse's dim plasma lamps. The crystal frame pulsed softly, its 1 cubic meter alloy shell containing half the ArchiveSeed's code, 5 trillion bytes of ancient architects' data, now secure in Titan alloy. Anya wiped soot from her jumpsuit, energy ink smudged across her knuckles. Split worked. Now we lock it permanently. She pulled up Protocol Chorus 2.0 schematics, 8 modules flashing on her holopad. "Echo cord stays in your head, Jax. Full-time bridge." He nodded, ignoring the neural strain, 20% more damage from the last link, his quirk now a permanent tether to cosmic rhythms. "Do it. Sync's got a hold." He grabbed a welder, sealing new connections to the console. Rex hauled a power cell, his 3-meter frame dwarfing the bots assisting him. "Council will come. I protect this." His scales gleamed, no longer vibrating with doubt. From assassin to guardian, he'd burned his orders, choosing legacy over destruction. Anya integrated the Vyrrh scale data, boosting the frame's stability. Cordbots upgraded, 10 nanometer swarm, phase shielded to 200 volts. They'll maintain the split. She programmed a 20-minute score, tempo steady at 140 beats per minute, weaving series and frame into a unified harmony. The workshop hummed, power grid stable at 8 megawatts. Outside, GrayBayOutpost lay quiet. The storm's roar gone, 200 residents gathering near Rainhouse drawn by rumors of alien tech. Jax felt their presence through the walls, his quirk picking up their collective hum, a low 50 hertz buzz of curiosity. Sarah stirred, her voice stronger. Architects' worlds. 100 planets mapped in the seed. She relayed fragments through the link, star-forging tech, quantum reactors. Jax's mind spun, translating data into melodies, his role as bridge cemented. "Test now," Anya said, injecting fresh chord bots. The score played, filling the space with layered tones. Bots swarmed, half anchoring Ceres's biorhythms, half reinforcing the frame. Sync hit 100%, no phase drift. Crystal growth stopped entirely. Ceres's form is now half flesh, half relic, a stable carrier. Rex stood watch, rifle slung but hands open. Council expected annihilation. You defied it. His respect was grudging, Vyrrh pride bending to human grit. Jax debugged the final module, fingers steady despite fatigue. Systems clean, echo chords permanent. He felt the seeds hum in his skull, no longer invasive, but a partner. His accident's curse had become humanity's edge. Anya grinned, logging the bot's success. Chord bots are game changers. 10 fields, neuromed, quantum comms, you name it. Her tech, born from scrap, now rivaled galactic standards. The trial was completed in 2 hours, consoles purring. Sarah sat up, scales reflecting light. You saved it, and me. Her eyes locked on Jax, then Rex, gratitude a silent melody. Rex knelt, a protector's vow. Institute begins here. I shield it. He'd faced the Council's 50 warrior phalanx, no hesitation. Anya packed her tools, already planning. This tech scales. Belt stations will want it. Her spark lit the path forward, human innovation rewriting rules. Jax limped to the door, glancing at the outpost's glow. Rainhouse isn't just a shop anymore. The crowd outside murmured, drawn to the impossible. A human, a Vyrrh, and a hybrid forging harmony from chaos. The group stood united. Jax the bridge, Anya the creator, Rex the shield, Ceres the legacy. Protocol Chorus 2.0 hummed, a testament to their fusion. The seed's knowledge, once a death sentence, now lived in dual hosts, secured by human cunning. Tension eased, but scars remained. Jax's neural damage is locked in, his quirk now a galactic antenna. He tuned out the crowd's hum, focusing on the frame's steady pulse. The fight wasn't over. Council trackers loomed, but they'd won this round. The workshop settled into a quiet hum, the crystal frame's glow casting faint patterns across Rainhouse's walls. Jax leaned against a console, his prosthetic leg creaking, neural strain etched in the lines of his face. Echo cord buzzed in his skull, a permanent bridge now picking up energy hums within a 1-kilometer radius. He was no longer just a mechanic. He'd become the galaxy's living tuner, binding flesh and relic. Ceres sat upright, her half-crystal form stable, silver scales meshed with translucent lattice. Her lifespan stretched 200 years, a hybrid of Vyrrh and Architect's legacy. Anya packed her tools, her jumpsuit streaked with energy ink. Chord bots are a goldmine, she said, logging specs. 5 interspecies core already sniffing. Bidding starts at 1 billion credits. Her creation, born from scrap, redefined medical tech across 10 fields. She grinned, half-shaved head catching the light, her spark undimmed by the ordeal. Rex stood at the door, rifle slung, but eyes scanning the horizon. Council's coming. 50 warriors, maybe more. His gray scales gleamed, protector now, not assassin. He'd face exile or worse for defying orders, yet his stance was unyielding. Institute chorus begins here. I hold the line. Outside, GrayBayOutpost buzzed with 1,200 residents, 10 species mingling in the post-storm calm. Rainhouse, once a 200-square-meter shack, expanded to 1,000 square meters, its walls reinforced with mine alloy. It was now Institute Chorus, a beacon of interspecies research. Word spread fast. Vyrrh knowledge wardens, 20 strong, arrived not to fight but to study. The Council's initial fury cooled when Ceres's stability proved the seed wasn't a galactic threat. Jax limped to the frame, checking its pulse. Stable, holding 5 trillion bytes. "This changes everything," he muttered. His quirk had turned crisis into collaboration. Human grit outpacing alien dogma. He glanced at Ceres, her eyes meeting his. "You carried it. We just tuned it." Ceres nodded, voice steady at 300 hertz. "Architect's knowledge lives. 100 worlds mapped. Their tech, ours now." Her role as a carrier, once a death sentence, now bridges species. Anya slung her toolkit over her shoulder. "Outposts no backwater anymore. 10 species, 1 hub. Neural diplomacy starts here." Her tech seeded a new era, GrayBayOutpost morphing from a barren fringe to a galactic crossroads. Rex stepped closer, scales still. "Humans. Underestimated. You bend chaos to order." His respect, hard-won, marked a shift, Vyrrh bowing to earthborn ingenuity. The crowd outside grew, their hum a low 50 hertz chorus in Jax's mind. He tuned it out, focusing on the frame's rhythm. Institute Chorus 9 would draw scholars, engineers, even warriors, all chasing the harmony they'd forged. 5 sister institutes sprouted in other sectors, neural diplomacy spreading like a signal. Jax faced his team, grease-stained overalls a badge of their fight. "We didn't just save her, we rewrote the rules." His voice carried no bravado, just fact. He'd been a loner, fixing broken rigs in isolation. Now he was a bridge, scarred, limping, but vital. Anya smirked. "You're stuck with that hum in your head, Jax. Galactic DJ now." Rex grunted, a rare Vyrrh laugh. "Council will learn. Force fails where minds align." Ceres stood, half-crystal form catching the light. "You gave us a song to sing?" Her words echoed in Jax's quirk, a melody of gratitude. They gathered at the workshop's heart, the frame pulsing softly. Together they triggered a final score. 20 minutes, 432 hertz, a unified chord rippling through the outpost. The crowd outside joined, voices and vibrations blending, a symbol of harmony hard-fought. Jax looked out, the hum of life louder now. "Difference doesn't mean destruction," he said, voice low, the mechanic's pragmatism sharpened by scars. "Energy's got a rhythm. Flesh, crystal, doesn't matter. We found the beat. Humans, Vyrrh, whatever comes next, we'll make it sing together." His words hung, not grand but true, a quiet vow to a galaxy listening. The seed's legacy lived, not in conquest but in shared notes. A song no one species could write alone.